I've hunted, prepped, and slept in the back of a truck, long enough to know that when the moment comes, you don't want to be fiddling with toys. You want a rifle that simply works. In this project, I put 5 of the most promising bolt-action hunting rifles under $700 through real-world checks. Accuracy at practical distances, reliability after rough handling, trigger feel, and whether they'll survive the kind of hard use a prepper or avid hunter actually throws at gear. I'll be blunt, this isn't a list of pretty rifles or marketing copy, it's a field report from someone who expects his equipment to earn its keep in cold, mud, and last-chance shots. Over the next sections, I'll walk you through each rifle in detail. What surprised me, what disappointed me, objective performance numbers, and my subjective take on which rifle I'd trust if I had to walk out with one. This is Scoper 90 Degrees. Welcome to the review. Savage Axis II XP. I picked this one up because sometimes the simplest tools do the most honest work. Retail on the Axis II XP typically sits around $520 depending on caliber and dealer, and many packages come with a factory-mounted Bushnell Banner 39x40 scope that's bore-sighted at the factory. Objectively, the rifle delivered what Savage promises, a 22-inch carbon steel, button-rifled free-floated barrel and the AccuTrigger system that is user-adjustable and breaks clean. At 100 yards off a basic bipod, I consistently saw groups around 1 MOA with Hornady American Whitetail and Federal Power Shock, which, for a rifle in this price range, puts it well into practical accuracy territory. The 2-lug bolt with a 90 degrees throw locks up solidly and cycles reliably. I had no feeding or extraction issues across several sessions, and mixed ammunition types. The 4-round detachable box magazine feeds smoothly, and the synthetic stock is lightweight, pillar-bedded, and adequately textured for a secure grip in wet conditions. Subjectively, the Axis II XP feels like a work rifle. It's not flashy, it doesn't make extravagant promises, and when you press the trigger, it behaves like a rifle twice its price. The AccuTrigger set to about 3.5 pounds on my sample broke glassy with no perceptible creep, which made timed, nervous shots on cold mornings far less stressful. Downsides are mostly cosmetic and ergonomic. Stock fit is basic, and the action height is a touch tall compared with some modern designs. So if you want a boutique chassis or the lightest carry package, look elsewhere. For prepper use, truck gun duty, or a first serious hunting rifle that won't bankrupt you, the Savage Axis II XP is a practical, dependable choice that earns confidence through simple, repeatable performance. Mauser My-Teen Savannah. I didn't expect this one to stand out at first glance, but the My-Teen Savannah surprised me in all the right ways. Retail hovers around $600 depending on configuration, and what sets this rifle apart is the attention to practical, battle-hardened details. A 22-inch cold hammer forged barrel that's threaded the 8th of May 24 right from the factory, a 3-lug bolt with a 60 degrees throw that cycles exceptionally smooth, and a stock built to survive real use with steel bedding sleeves and rubberized grip inserts. Objectively, the Savannah delivered sub-MOA groups at 100 yards with match and premium hunting rounds, and the factory-adjustable trigger around 2.5 pounds on my sample stayed consistent through temperature and grit. The 3-position safety is thoughtful for field handling. You can safely clear the chamber or top off the magazine without compromising safety, and the 5-round internal mag feeds cleanly under all test conditions. Subjectively, the rifle feels like a tool made by people who expect it to be used, not pampered. The recoil impulse is manageable, the controls are intuitive even with gloves, and the hidden compartment in the recoil pad is a nice pragmatic touch for field supplies. Downsides are minor. The stock is utilitarian rather than ergonomic, and it won't win any beauty contests, but that's the point. It's built to work. If you need an affordable bolt gun that stays accurate, cycles fast, and will live through serious field abuse, the Mauser My-Teen Savannah is one of the most convincing contenders under $700. Mossberg Patriot Predator. I grabbed the Patriot Predator in 6.5 Creedmoor right before late-season mule deer stock, and its street price sits around $540 depending on retailer and configuration. Objectively, this rifle surprised me by delivering consistent 1 MOA performance off a basic rest with common hunting loads. The 22-inch fluted button-rifled barrel is free-floated and comes threaded the 8th of May 24, so attaching a suppressor is straightforward, which matters if you're trying to stay quiet in real-world hunting or prepper scenarios. Mossberg's lightning bolt trigger is adjustable, and on my sample broke crisply just under 3 pounds with no perceptible creep. The spiral fluted bolt cycles with a clean 90 degrees lift even with gloved hands, and the 4-round detachable magazine fed flawlessly through mud and mixed ammo brands during field runs. Subjectively, the Patriot Predator feels light for long glassing, sits yet solid when it counts. The textured synthetic stock gives confidence in poor weather, and the rifle held zero through a week of rough use and a couple of hard drops. Downsides are cosmetic and feature related. The stock isn't modular if you want chassis level customization, and the basic factory optic mounts may need upgrading for extreme long-range setups. For hunters and preppers who want a quiet, capable, accurate, and affordable bolt gun that performs reliably in wet, cold, or muddy conditions, the Mossberg Patriot Predator represents excellent real-world value. CVA Cascade. Next up was the CVA Cascade, which I picked up in .308 for roughly $650 street price depending on the dealer. Objectively, the Cascade surprised. Depending on the dealer. Objectively, the Cascade surprised me. A 22-inch cold hammer forged barrel. Free-floated and threaded the 8th of May 24, delivered sub-MOA groups with match-grade ammo, and held surprisingly tight groups with common hunting loads as well. The action runs on a Remington 700 footprint, which is a practical design decision because it opens the rifle up to a wide range of aftermarket triggers and stocks if you want to customize later. The bolt is smooth with a 70-degree throw, the flush-fit 4-round magazine feeds reliably, and the factory-adjustable trigger on my sample broke at just under 1.6 pounds, which is exceptional for a rifle in this price bracket. Subjectively, the Cascade feels like the one built for a user who values accuracy and upgrade potential over flash. It has a solid, no-nonsense heft to it that communicates durability without being heavy. The fiberglass reinforced synthetic stock is tough, and the aluminum bedding pillars do their job. Point of impact stayed consistent through temperature changes and rough handling. Downsides are that the stock is plain and the ergonomics are not as tailored as higher-end platforms. But if your priority is a rugged, accurate rifle you can further refine later, the CVA Cascade is a very compelling option under $700. Ruger American Predator. Finally, the Ruger American Predator is the rifle I reached for when I needed a single do-it-all tool for both mid-range hunting and rugged field work, and its usual price ranges from about $550 to $620, depending on caliber and trim for HDO. Objectively, the Predator offers depending on caliber and trim. Objectively, the Predator offers a cold, hammer-forged, free-floated barrel, and a power bedding system that locks the action into steel blocks in the stock, which translates to excellent shot-to-shot consistency and trouble-free zero retention. With 6.5 Creedmoor in my hands and a threaded barrel out of the box, it printed sub-MOA groups with premium hunting and precision rounds and kept that zero through wet rides and heavy use. The Marksman adjustable trigger was clean and predictable at just over 3.5 pounds on my sample, and the 3-lug bolt with a 70-degree throw cycles smoothly for quick follow-up shots without breaking your cheek weld. Subjectively, the Predator is the balanced pick. It's stable enough for precise work, light enough to carry all day, and tough enough to ride in the back of a truck without fuss. The rotary magazine's reliable and low profile, and the factory Picatinny rail made mounting glass straightforward. Downsides of the stock is basic polymer, and those chasing the absolute lightest build or a full chassis setup might want to swap it. But for a ready-to-go rifle that performs well across a variety of real-world tasks, the Ruger American Predator is an easy recommendation.